The 1978 620 Datsun. Still cutting, grinding, and welding, but we are making progress. This little corner right back here needs to be attacked next. Difficult for me to do these like humps and stuff. I don't have a sandbag or a plenishing hammer or a what they call wheel, English wheel, so I just have to do the best I can with poor man tools. Well, it looks like it is time to make my move, something I wasn't really ready to do, but I'm gonna do it. If you look here where I cut this floor, see that gap right there? Because when I did the last cut here, it sprang back. That needs to be pulled this direction just a little bit to make it fit right. So I need to make this patch panel exactly how that old piece was for it to fit. This might be hard to see on camera, but if you'll notice, the whole truck is tilted like this. When you come closer to it, look at that left side where the cab meets the bed. Now look at the right side where the cab meets the bed. See how it's lower on the right side? The whole right side of the truck's lower and the cab doesn't match the truck bed. Now this truck has a very solid frame, there's no doubt about it. It's not rusted out or anything like that, and it is a box frame. But watch what happens when I lift the truck up. Did you see what happened right there with that gap? The frame flexes. Somebody asked me a really good question. They said, why don't you take the cab off of the frame and make it easier on yourself to repair the floors? The reason why is because there was no floors left. Not only that, but I had to make sure that these cab mounts were still in the exact location that they were originally. When I made these, I made sure to measure from here up to here so that they were in the same spot. I also paid attention to how this came off and how it lined up with the frame. At this point, most of the floor is installed and I have all these brackets installed. I pretty much know that those cab mounts are in the right spot and the floor is in the right spot. So why is the truck leaning over to the right and why is the cab and bed not lining up? These have torsion bars for springs in the front. I wanted to see how the torsion bars were adjusted, and this side is way down. And what that causes is less spring tension. So less spring tension on the right side will cause the whole truck to lean over to the right. So when I get this adjusted, it'll probably be okay. Everything will probably start to line up. When I tighten this up, will it twist that frame and straighten up our cab bed situation? Time will tell. At this point, I'm still not going to take the cab off, but I think it's safe to remove the bed off of the truck so I can get to the back of the cab, because I still want that back corner to line up perfectly like it's supposed to. And if I take the cab off, I'm afraid things will get out of whack a little bit. When I started this truck, I had absolutely no intentions of going this far with the restoration. It's crazy. I thought I was going to have it on the road in like a month. Remember, when I first bought it, I think the first day or something, we had it riding and driving in the yard. Now what, 6 months down the road and I'm taking a bed and cab off of it. Look at all that movement. It's easy to get things off on a truck like this with thin metal. A little encouragement is always well received, so hit the like button and leave a comment. Obviously all the rubber mounts and stuff on the bed and the cab were destroyed too, but first I want to get the frame in order, make sure that's all straight like it's supposed to be, then the cab, and then we'll do the bed, and everything should line up in the end. Thought I'd get this bumper out of the way and throw it outside with the truck bed. I hope these bolts just break up. And no. Oh! I've been making mistakes like that here lately. Dangerous. I'm gonna hurt myself one day. This garage cat is about to lose its seat because I need to finish that up. I did get the seat bottom part done. The door panels And sun visors. The sheet under it that is sewed up is going to be the part where you see the little kitty cat sitting on. That's the back of the seat. Put a little light coat of etching primer on there. You know what else would probably work, and I've used it, is that 2000 degree paint, like for exhaust. That'd probably do it. I know some of this is gonna burn off. I don't like the copper stuff. Nice fit. I will get this tacked in, then we'll work on the back of the cab. I've got this little piece made up. It'll fit in here like that. A few plug welds on the back. Most of it welded up inside here. The next section is going to be this that I have to cut out, make pieces, and weld in. You've seen me do this before. I'm going to cut a piece off the tailgate that matches that spot pretty close. Not a perfect piece, but by the time I get it cut up and shape it just a little bit, it'll fit in there really nice. A lot easier than trying to make this piece from a flat piece of metal. Almost there. I have one more big patch, and then after that, just a few small ones here and there. Remember my big long speech about the truck frame and cab not lining up and all that stuff? Look at the way it lines up on this cab. This is the left side, and this is the right side back. So I don't think build quality was the best on these old Datsuns in 1978. A few things I want to get off my mind here. Am I capable of doing better work? I would say possibly yes. Could I have just bought floor pans and welded them in here instead of doing a whole bunch of little patches? Could I have done a whole custom floor on this truck and made it look real cool? I think I could. I also could have took some used sheet metal and screwed it down with some self-tappers. My point is, and I've mentioned this in the past, there's so many different levels of restoration that you can do, and this particular vehicle is going to serve a purpose, and there's a reason I'm doing it this way. One of these rigs around here is going to get a full restoration, I think, one day. This green 520, we've talked about it in the past. It is a cab and bed for the red 520 that I've already done. The red 520 cab and bed was only temporary, but the drivetrain is all done on it, except for it now needs an engine, and I probably put a 5-speed in it. The plans for this one, I want to do a deal where you clean and paint the firewall, all this underneath, the door jambs inside the cab, all of that, restore all the rest, but leave the outside like it is. And probably clear coat the outside because it just looks so neat, this old green truck. Of course, it'll get a nice interior. No clue what I'm going to do with this one. It's for sale, $7,900, South Central Kentucky. If it doesn't sell, I'll restore it some way or another. Now this one has my attention. I'm thinking about doing a complete and total OEM restoration. I have also considered doing a king cab restoration, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh me, I'm starting to feel the pressure. I don't think you guys know this yet, but this truck is going to be my camp mobile. It is a long bed, so I thought it would be perfect to make a custom camper on it. I have 4 months till I go on my first trip in May. The issue is I've only drove this truck like 2 or 3 times in the yard and maybe once or twice on the road. The engine, transmission, and rear end all seem sound, but who knows, after you drive it even 100 miles, a lot of things could show up. I'm trying to spend my time wisely to get this thing up, running, and a camper built so I can go in May. That's where the stress comes in. I have this thing stripped down this far. I have no choice at this point, in my opinion, but to take the cab off and finish the floor up. It needs to be trimmed out. It has to be seam sealed, painted inside and out. But when I get that far, I really want to paint the inside of the cab since I'm redoing the interior. At that point, I could stop because I can paint the whole outside later, anytime. It's just hard to know what to do, how far to go with it. Like I say, priority is get the thing on the road, up and running with a camper on it. Whatever I do, I don't want to go back. So if I don't paint the inside of the cab, then I have to take the whole interior out again just to paint it and put it back in. That's why I'm thinking I probably need to go ahead and paint that. 4 months might seem like a lot of time to some people, but for me, it's like 4 weeks. I'm slow. So many channels do these builds where they rush, and last minute push it out the door and go on the trip and have all these problems, and I'm not wanting to do that. The 520 pickup truck, when I took it to the Keys, was kind of a rush job, and when I went there and back, the rear end roared the whole time and was leaking gear oil. It overheated a time or two, and you know, that's a little stressful. I'm really wanting to do some traveling with this thing this summer, so we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully I can make my goal of May. I don't know. Tune in next week, we'll get the cab off of this and see how far we get. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt, at your service.